song will forever give me chills now that I've seen them perform it with the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. Man, that was one of the coolest parts of the show. That's like Soul Rebels and that second night.
Day 359. Wow, 359. Tomorrow we cross into that threshold of the 360s. I guess today was kind of, I'm going to refer to it as like my first day of freedom. First day where I had nobody to report to. And wow, what a rush that was. It's like, I don't know, 5 years of being tied to something. And it was, you know, I thought yesterday I had a lot of turmoil going on. I'm leaving this place and you know, leaving the security and leaving all this stuff, and I'm walking off into doubt, and I'm walking off into the unknown, and I thought I was going to carry that with me. You know, I thought that was going to compound upon itself again and again until finally I sink or swim in the business, and I can't really do anything with the business to the beginning of May. That's when we're going to start. Well, I can do some preliminary things, of course, but as far as seeing how it's going to roll, I won't know anything until May. But the other thing was, I was thinking too, you know, it's I had a very strict regimen. I had a almost like a schedule, but it wasn't really a schedule. It was just a set path throughout the day of things that I would do, things that I would have to do, and now all that's out the window. And I thought, well, am I going to lose touch with everything? Am I going to be off pace? Is that going to cause an issue? And today, my first day free, and it just brought me right back to everything. The other element too, the last couple months I was in a position where I couldn't listen to any information while I was at work, which is how this thing began. And so I started reading. Tremendous amount of reading for me, at least compared to what I had read in the past. I was reading upwards of maybe 10 different books at a time, and a couple hundred pages a day maybe. And there might be some exaggeration to that, but probably not too much. I was reading pretty heavily. I don't think there's any exaggeration to that. But anyway, today was the first day that I put headphones back in and started listening to information, and wow, it felt good. The whole day was really good. I felt very free, very happy, very, you know, I could be me. I didn't have to worry about anything. Didn't have to worry about anybody calling me, bugging me, asking me for anything. Didn't have to worry about missing out on income because I'm not at work, and all those things. And I went and visited a couple businesses that are similar to the business that I had in mind, and again, that awful thing called the mind, it kind of convinced me that I have no idea what I'm doing, and got a lot to learn and a lot to figure out. I'll walk in these places, and you know, I felt like they were still running in the 80s and 90s. You know, maybe there's maybe even older than that. It's like I didn't see anything along the lines of the way that I'm thinking, and I was thinking, wow, I mean, if they can do it in this archaic mode, I think I'm going to be okay, you know. And that was a nice feeling too. It was nice just to be in the reality of it all. Then baseball's back. I caught a couple innings of a baseball game, had a good run, ate good food, listened to good information, read a good book, had a good cigar. Not a care in the world. I found some goofy clothes. A guy, I think I mentioned him before, but for what it's worth, the gentleman I was working with from Jordan, from the country of Jordan, he was the guy that kind of tripped this whole adventure. As we worked, doing a similar job, same job actually, he was always kind of with himself and had headphones on, and he was always listening to something, and didn't know what he was listening to. I still don't know what he was listening to. I never even, I think I might have asked him, but, you know, music or whatever. But in my mind, I told myself, you know, this guy's learning something. This guy's getting information. This guy's spending all these hours at work where I'm just BSing around, doing nothing, living like a zombie. And he's educating himself. And anyway, that thought was a big part of the thought that sparked this endeavor. A big part of this escape from the prison of working for someone else, doing something I don't want to do. But anyway, he says to me, nobody knows what I'm doing except the Luna now, and the gentleman I'm talking to as far as leasing a property. And I think that worked out well, by the way, just to keep it to myself and work on it versus throwing the idea out there and having people tear it apart and then let it fizzle and fade and dissolve. This one I told nobody about, and this is the first one I'm acting on in my life, so that's a nice feeling. But anyway, this gentleman texts me and he says, wherever you go, don't wear the clothes you worked at this job. He didn't say it exactly like this, but basically it'll stink of your old life. It'll stink of your old ways. It'll stink of your old situation. And I thought about it. I think he's right. I think there's some truth to that. It's a total reinvention of the self. It's a total reinvention of the world for me. And I've also decided to change my name. I always thought people that changed their names were kind of weird. And I guess I should explain those two things. I'll stick with the clothes. So anyway, I went out today and I bought some clothes, really goofy clothes that I don't know, just a freedom and ugliness, a little bohemian. Big jump from the tie and all that stuff. I think eventually I'm going to grow an afro and a long beard, and why the hell not? So we had that, and then wow, this train's short. Lost the train of thought. Clothes. What was the other thing I was talking about there? Hold on a second. Oh yeah, changing my clothes and changing my name. I'm glad I remember that because I kind of want to justify that in some way. My father passed away when I was pretty young. I believe I was about 7 years old, and got some very, very fragile memories of him. Some glimpses of life with him, and the other day, well, it's been a month or two, I guess. My mom visited us out here, and she brought I believe it was a card that he had written from the hospital that he was, I think it was a hospital he passed away in Louisville, Kentucky. I believe it was somewhere in Kentucky. But he wrote this letter, and he said, "Hey, Red." And you know what? As soon as I read that, I remember that. That's what my name was. That's what he called me. And, for the first 7 years of my life, I was Red. And I think it's time to go back to that. So to break free from someone else's world, I'm coming back to myself. So I'm going to be Red, the crazy bohemian dressed guru with the long hair and long beard. I don't know if the long hair and long beard will happen or not. But anyway, I'm officially Red. Everybody I meet from now on, I'm Red. So. Day 359 feels pretty good. Hey, what are you doing today? Thanks.